Peace. Right. March. Ready. Forward. Forward. March.
They always do a nice ceremony. The death of a loved one involves letting go of the physical remains of that individual, but the soul remains in the spirit of renewal for the generations that come after. Our prophets tell us that while death is really a heart-rending experience, we should begin the healing process as soon as we possibly can. Birth is a beginning, and death is a destination, and life is a journey. From childhood to maturity, from youth to age, from innocence to awareness, ignorance to knowing, foolishness to discretion, weakness to strength, health to sickness, from offense to forgiveness, from loneliness to love, from joy to gratitude, and grief to understanding, from defeat to defeat to defeat, that until looking backward or ahead, we see that victory lies not in some high place along the way, but in having made the journey, stage by stage. His journey has just begun. Don't think of him as gone away. Life holds many facets, and the earth is only one. Think of him as resting from the sorrow and the tears, in a place of warmth and comfort where there are no days or years. Think how he must be wishing that we could know today how nothing but our sadness can really pass away. And think of him as living in the hearts of those he touched, for nothing love is ever lost, and he was loved so much. We remember him in the rising of the sun and its going down, in the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, in the opening of the buds in the rebirth of spring, in the blueness of the sky and the warmth of summer, in the rustling of the leaves and the beauty of autumn, in the beginning of the year and when it ends, when we're weary and in need of strength, when we're lost and sick at heart, when we have decisions that are difficult to make, or we have achievements that are based on his. So long as we live, he too shall live, for he's now a part of us. When we lose someone we love, it seems that time stands still. What moves through us is a silence, a quiet sadness, a longing for one more day, one more word, one more touch. We may not understand why he left this earth so soon, or why he left before we were ready to say goodbye, but little by little we begin to remember that he didn't die, but he just lived, and he gave us memories that are too beautiful to forget. We will see him again someday, in a heavenly place where there is no parting, a place where there are no words that mean goodbye. His son has asked to deliver a eulogy this morning. I'd like to come up here and do that now.
Hi, I'm Tim, Dad's oldest child.
Pam, and the next two.
Pam, Chris,
Claudia.
Claudia. My dad, my hero. Dads usually become our first heroes. They teach us how to play games, ride bikes, swim, maybe even ice skate. Every few summers, they'd pile us into the station wagon, and we'd go on vacation to the Dells, or Disney, or Mackinac. Our dad did all those things for us. Well, we grew up in the best place in the world for 4 kids to grow up in Duck Lake Woods, Illinois. Before he married my mother, Marlene, he served our country as a Marine in the Korean War, of which he was very proud. I remember calling him on Veterans Day once, and he thanked me for fighting. I thanked him for fighting for our freedom, and he was so happy to be remembered for that service. Dad worked for Illinois Bell for 35 years, climbing poles, fixing telephone lines in the heat of summer and the frigid cold of Chicago winters. I don't remember him ever taking a day off because he was sick or tired. That must be where I get my dedication and work ethic from. Our dad also loved to eat, especially ice cream and cake. And he always had a cup of coffee nearby.
Cookies.
I know I got that gene too. And Dad loved sports. He was a very good baseball player during his high school days and while in the military. He loved baseball and taught me how to play at an early age. We played hit and run, running bases a lot. And oh, how he loved his Cubs. We would watch games together, and he introduced me to my first sports heroes, Ernie Banks, Billy Williams, and Ron Santo. I can still remember the joy I felt when Dad and Mom took me to my first game at Wrigley. Man, that was a thrill. And like a good Chicago boy, he followed all the Chicago teams, and we watched more sports icons. The Bears with Dick Butkus and Gale Sayers, the Blackhawks with Bobby Hull and Stan Mikita. Those were some great times. After retiring from the phone company, he didn't slow down. He started his own business, Mail and More, and was successful at doing that. But most of all, he had fun doing that. He mostly enjoyed interfacing daily with his customers, and I would help out at the store during the busy holiday season, and eventually took over the operation when he and Nancy moved south. Those were some great times, being able to work side by side. It's something he truly had a passion for. So when Dad really retired, he moved to Sun City West with Nancy. He soon went back to one of his first loves and started playing softball. His teams won many games. Of course, he was one of the young bucks back then, and he played pretty well compared to the old guys. So he also discovered a love for crafting and tile art. He got good at tile art. He even made a little money off of it. And he taught classes to fellow crafters so they could learn the skills. I could tell in his voice that he really enjoyed sharing that skill with others. And his tile art U.S. flag is still mounted on the old softball field grandstand. Most of all, Dad loved being with people. He was a people person. He always had a smile and a handshake for everyone. And he made so many new friends here in the Valley of the Sun. Dad became an integral part of the community and helped organize the annual summer exodus to Logan, Utah with the summer citizens. He always looked forward to May when he could start packing the van for the ride up north so he could escape the heat. He was always looking out for everyone that made that trip. And he was very well respected. We found out just a few months ago that Dad handed over some keys and all the Logan contact information to one of the regular travelers just to make sure everything would go as planned this year for the group. What a great guy. I'm sure you're up in heaven now, Dad, visiting Grandma and Grandpa, seeing brothers and sisters, and many of your old friends, and trying to figure out which restaurant you'll try next. And if you get the chance, say hi to Ronnie and Walter. So, Dad, until we meet again, thank you for your service to our country. Thank you for teaching me how to be a good husband and dad. Thank you for sharing your love of sports. Thank you for teaching me to work hard for what I want to achieve. Thank you for showing me the importance of family and friends. And most of all, thank you for teaching me to be a man, because these are the things that heroes do. Love and miss you, Dad.
He's.
I think I played ball against him in high school, probably. We're both the same age, 81.
No kidding.
I went to Austin. Where did you go?
Foreman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, great guy.
My children have benefit of the tile art class tonight, so they each have a memento hanging on
Oh, yeah.
One of the grandsons.
The Chicago connection, Bob. And
Yeah, Bob. Sure. How you doing? Where do you live in Chicago?
I was hoping I was putting up through a triangle.
Oh, yeah.